NCC Educations. I'm based in Malaysia. I actually be with the product development teams. Okay, so when I first joined NCC, Digi is the first project that I handled. Okay, so I can say most of the contents, even the books, right? I'm quite familiar with them. Okay, so I'll go through the slide. So this is what, like Shamira already said, it's just our normal marketing slide. Okay, so before we talk about the DG, right? Okay, maybe I think it's a good just to let anybody knows that about NCC Educations. So originally NCC Education is part of the National Computing Center, which is the part of the British government. And today, right, what we normally say is NCC Education is the awarding body from UK. So we are more targeting for providing business and IT program. Okay, but with the expansion, at this moment, we also start targeting the children, the kids. So we come up for the Digi program. Okay, so we can say that we have a lot of the global center in the world. So it's not only in the Southeast Asia, okay, but we also have the center in Africa. And so we also have some of the regional office in the world. I just, okay, so now we talk about the, sorry. We talk about the DG. Okay, so DG is targeting for primary and secondary school. In total, right, we have 11 years. So if you're referring to the program, okay, if you count, we actually have 11 years. So 6 years for the primary and 5 years for the secondary. Okay, so and this program, DG program, is aligned with the English National Computer Curriculum. Okay, and we are targeting main on the computer literacy and computer skill. So I can say that is what is good for DG is, especially for those after the secondary school, if they want to go for the IT field for the further their study, DG actually will help because they already built the kids with the strong foundations on the IT knowledge. Okay. So this is the system for the DG. As you can see, right, we actually, if in total, we have a 11 years program. Okay, 6 years is for the primary. Okay, regardless you are in any country, because it should be quite standard. Primary is 6 years and the secondary is 5 years. So it can be a bit different. Like for UK, year 1 is 5 years old, but in Malaysia, the year 1 is 7 years old. But at the end, we also still go up to 6 years for the primary. Okay, so the 6 years for the primary, we start with the Digi Explorer. Okay, so Digi Explorer actually will go for the 2 years. So it's a year 1 and a year 2. Or in your country, it might refer to any things like in Malaysia, we call it a standard 1 and standard 2. So, but it's still almost the same. Okay, then after they complete the Digi Explorer, what they will do is they will go for the Digi Navigators, and this is a 4 years program. Okay, so this is a 4 years program. So it starts from the year 3 until year 6. So in total, this is a 6-year program for the primary. Okay, after the student complete the Digi Navigators, if they want to continue, they can go for the Digi Trailblazer, which is 3 years. Okay, so start from the year 7, year 8, and the year 9. Okay, after that, they can continue with the Digi Awards, which is 2 years, year 10 and the year 11. And like what Shamira told you, okay, this Digi Award actually is equivalent to the IGCSE. Okay, but what is because IGCSE, if let's say you go for international school, you go for the whole suite. But this one is only one unit. So if let's say you take for the Digi Award, you go for the regulated Digi Awards assessment, it actually is equivalent to the IGCSE 1 unit. So it's actually is referring to 1 unit. So depends on the university. If let's say the country university allow, okay, any IGCSE 1 unit pass to go for the foundation, yes, they can accept it. take the Digi award as that unit. Okay. So this is just a summary like this. Okay, primary school, year 1 and year 2 for the Digi Explorer. Okay, Digi Navigators. Okay, and for the secondary, which is the Digi Trailblazers and the Digi Awards. Okay. Okay, so this is the more 4 pillars for the Digi. Okay, so in any key stage, right? Okay, either you are in the key stage 1, key stage 2, key stage 3, or the key stage 4. Okay, we will cover these 4 pillars. It means that, okay, this 4 pillars is a coding, computational thinking, online safety, and the digital literacy. So for example, if let's say for the online safety, we will cover the online safety for the Digi Explorer, which is a key stage 1. We also will cover it in the Digi Navigator, which is a key stage 2. We also cover this online safety in the Digi Trailblazer and the Digi Awards. Okay, one of the reasons is because, okay, especially for the online safety, some of the parents or center, they might feel why we want to do it and you are repeating. But when the students study the computings, right, we have to let them know it's very important that for the online safety. So we have to, the lesson will be different, but we have to keep reminding the student that, okay, if you're taking a computer, if you're doing, using the social media, so what is your responsibility? Okay, so what you can share and what you cannot share. So we will keep on these pillars for every key stage. Okay, so for every key stage, we will cover the coding as well. Is what is meant by the programming here. But it's just like different level we might use a different software or programming. But some of the key stage like Explorer, Navigator, and Trailblazer, we still using the Scratch. But the level of the difficulty will be different because we cannot expect the Explorer student, which is a year 5 or 6, to do a very, very complicated programming. Okay, so the level of the lesson will be increased. Okay. So these is some of the key features for the Digi. So if let's say any center, they are taking our Digi, right? So what we will do is we'll provide the full teaching programs, okay, to the center. Okay, so what NCC will give is all the teaching and the learning resources. Okay, and this is included the students guide and the teacher guide, or like what you can say is the teacher books or the student books as well. Okay. And we are targeting the student age 5 to 16, but this depends on the country. Some of the country can start with age 7, but not age 3, which is too young. Okay, so it can go up to age, it actually can also start from 7 until 17 as well. Okay, and all our programs, right, if you're referring to the books or the guide, you can see that all the programs actually is activity based. Okay, every lesson we give a lot of the activities. Why we give the activities is because we feel that activity actually let the student got more involvement. So what the teacher will do is they will guide the student to do the activity. By doing all this activity, right, they're actually learning because they are not just sitting in the class and listen for the information. So it should be more interactive for the student. Okay. So it's an activity-based learning system. Every single lesson the student have to complete at least one activity. Okay, so learning by doing methods actually promote the understanding. So this is what we believe. Okay, and for these Digi programs, we use a lot of the audios, visual, and the videos for lesson. Okay, so it's because nowadays, as we all know, kids, they like video, they like YouTubes. So we got no choice, but this is a trend at this moment. So we actually use a lot of the videos in the lesson. Okay. And for the lessons, right, some of the lesson also we incorporated with the games. So some of the lesson actually with the games, so it can be in the groups, small groups, and a lot of the lesson actually we prefer the student do in the groups, small groups like 2 to 4. So we actually encourage them to share ideas and they know how to work with their teammate. Okay. So this is the programming language that we use. Okay, so like the Digi, Studio Code, and the Scratch. Navigators for the 4 years, we are only targeting for the Scratch. Okay, and when the student go up to the secondary level, which is start from the Trailblazer, is we are put in the Pythons. Pythons is not put on the primary stage because it can be a bit too hard for them. They need to do the actual coding. Okay, but for Scratch, it's just like a block, so they can drag the commands they want. And when they go for the level 2 award, right? Okay, we put in the Java. Okay, so this is the form programming language that we cover in our full suite of the Digi program. Okay. So this is the Digi teaching and the learning material. It means that what NCC will provide to the center, okay, or what the student will get. Okay, so we will have the student guide. Okay, so student guide and the teacher guide, right? We have the 30 lesson per year. Okay, normally we suggest to the center, okay, you can take about 1 hour for each lesson. Okay, but it really depends on the center and depends on the activity. Some activity actually 1 hour you cannot complete. You might need longer time. Okay, so and for the what is the difference between the teacher guides and the student guide is the teacher guides, we actually have a section which is only for the teacher. So we have the extra notes. So the teacher have to know what things they have to prepare before they started the lesson. Okay, so we'll tell them, okay, this is the list of things that we recommended for you, even something like the link. Okay, so we have an extra guidance for the teacher. And if let's say we use the online link, so those links will be provided to the teacher, but not to the student. So the teacher have to give the link, show the link to the student during the class. So it is very important for the teacher to refer to the teacher guide. Okay. And for now onwards, we actually also provide the PowerPoint slide for each lesson. So it means that if let's say for the Digi Explorer course 1, you have a 30 PowerPoint lesson. Okay, so each lesson you have a PowerPoint file. Okay, and we also give the student handout. Student handout is just like for student to write if they need. Okay, but the student handout is a summary. It's the same with the PowerPoint slide. It's just with the notes at the side, so the student can write down the important points. Okay, and each lesson we have the supplementary online material. Okay, and for the student, right, when they finish every key stage, they can go for assessment. So it means that Explorer 2 years for 1 assessment. Okay, Navigators 4 years for 1 assessment. So that is a formal assessment. Okay, and the exam question will come up from NCC. Okay, and like here say it's up to and including the IGCSE equivalency. This is for our Digi award. If let's say the student take the Digi award and they go for our level 2 regulated assessment, yes, this is an equivalency. So the exam paper actually we have to go for follow the OFQA standards. And for the level 2, what we have is beside from the exam, they also have to sit for the assignment. They also have to do an assignment. Okay. Okay, so this is just a progression. Okay, from a primary go to a secondary, from the Digi you can go to Navigator, or then go to the Trailblazer and awards. And like what is written here, Digi award actually is equivalent to the IGCSE, but it's only 1 unit. Okay, it's not the full suite of the IGCSE, but it's 1 unit because Digi award is only 1 unit. Okay. Okay, this one is about why choosing Digi, which is already presented by Shamira. Okay, so I think I wouldn't go very details on that, but just go for that, the certifications. If let's say the students sit for the assessment after every key stage, okay, they should get their certificate. Okay, so every key stage. So it means that if they start from the year 5 until 16, if they sit for all the assessment, they should got 4 certificates. Okay. Okay. So if you want to know more about Digi, this is a link that you can go. Okay, so this is under the NCC education links, so it's under Digi. Okay, so I think I complete my presentations, and I think Shamila say Q&A have to wait for the end, right? The end.
Yeah.
So I will save this Q&A after that. Okay. Okay, so this is just to show you the number of the center that we have in the for NCC education at this moment. Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Lynn. So we'll just pass on to Dr. Ying now, who would like to share his experience now for the Digi program. Over to you, Dr. Lynn.
Great. Hello.
Hello.
Hi. Thanks for having me to share the experiences. I'm glad to see NCC representatives as well as representatives from different countries. I was looking for international communication similar to this event. But cut the story short, because you know it has been overwhelming of discussions I would expect. First of all, let me introduce myself. My name is Ying Liu. I'm International Director of Tulip Community Academy China NCC Center. Now it's just International Director of the community on the NCC Center. And I must say that the CEO, which is the founder of the community, is Miss Wong. And just one very brief statement of introducing what Tulip does. Tulip is a social community network of China, people-to-people approach, and it's NGO, and is coming with many ideas of organizing communities into eco-economy, which is self-reliance, sharing the markets, sharing the relationships, and helping each other, solving problems of families. It has been one of these really unique organizations in China. Now, I'm not going on about telling the stories now because the time consuming. But the one thing I really like to mention that is when the first time I met this community and I heard they introduced themselves to be so, and I said to myself, wow, how kind of daring or daunting kind of ambition that they have to do something like that in China is unbelievable, because it's a vast country and they've been able to have over 10 centers across the country, and with a very people-to-people like approach to promoting social values there. Okay, so there's a different aspects of social values there. Now, one of these values which I can see connecting to NCC Digi program is a family education. Yeah, so the family education has the value where they promoting, motivating children to learn. And that is a mainstream in China, of course, but I would think it's very universal. It's, although the Chinese families stands in its own position for the cultural background, but I think it's universal. I think there's many families like to get on with their children. You know, for very least, you like your children to go to school, and you like to have parents like to have a good relationship with their children. Yeah. So there's a lot of universal characteristics to be shared. Now, I see that connection that I introduced NCC, the Digi program in. And so that's brought me to this point to share these experiences with us. So we've done quite a lot of development of NCC Digi program delivery since last October. We were able to carry out offline sessions, which were very successful. And then the pandemic started. And we being silent for 1 month, and these mothers decided to go online, right? So they'll be able to bring their services online. As I said, Tulip has very different kinds of services, like parenting skill, for example, and they brought that online. And I didn't really think about bringing Digi online. I know it's difficult because it's interactive. You know, Ling would tell us how difficult it would be because Ling designed the curriculum, the old book. Then I silenced it for about 1 month. Then the CEO said to me, we had been very successfully delivering our services online and show me examples and get me involved. And they said, we can do it. We can do Digi online. And that's where we started. So February, we started to redirect our whole courses and delivery. And March, we'll be able to launch the program online. It was very successful. And until now, we've been carried out all the teaching lessons and so forth. Now, what I like to see is to say something here to share with you, not too much about the kind of what Tulip does, but rather what are these common characteristics that we can share among the communities. Yeah. Well, first of all is parenting. And I know Digi program is not just about children, but once you get the higher up levels, you involve with youth, youngsters get involved. But I can't really speak from the perspective of youngsters because we just piloted the program on children. So I just talk about children. Okay, so but you can see there is a vast kind of opportunities to develop for all of us. Now, for children, for example, then the clear distinctive of NCC curriculum as such is very well structured. And it's structured in such a way that, as Ling said, embedding activities so that it's not just a list of tasks and asking children to finish, to do this and do that, but it's involvement with teachers and possibly parents. So the first experience I like to share is think about really the way that we involve with different people in. And by involving parents in, parents would learn digital skills as well. Yeah, so they would get interested in too. So you would have a few adults leading the class, and you would have activities doing with children. And then children would learn not just the skills, but various of behavior, for example, and they would follow instructions and they would have interest to study something, and communication with parents and a communication with digital technologies. Yeah, I'll give you just one example before I move to next point. One example is searching engine, for example. Now, before the searching engine, we need to tell children how to be safe online. And that's very important because whether you tell them what behave online or not, they are going to get mommy or daddy's phones and they're going to look at around anyway. So it's good to teach them in early age to guide them to the appropriate way that they can get benefit from searching engines. Now, once we show them how to use search engines, for example, we ask them to search in their favorite puppies, favorite dogs, and we show them different search engines will give you different results. Yeah, so they would come out with lovely pictures of different dogs, and then we ask them, "What's your favorite dogs?" And all this being English, so they learn Chinese and English at the same time, and technologies is bilingual one. So that just show how activity would drive them into the studies. Yeah, so it's very interesting when the search engines. We are even now using the search engines. So this is just activity connecting with search engine, but we are now moving to the activities of cutting or editing pictures, images, movies, videos, sounds. And that is a really good activity to get involved, because can you imagine children take their camera, take pictures, and telling, the rest of the people what they have photographed. Or you can organize a group of children, play around as a game. You can video them and let them see what they have been doing. So it's really good fun. And by these kind of activities that I'm organizing a project next is I call it day life in community in digital presentation. So they have to show us a day life in digital format, and what they experience about the community. It could be a shopping mall, could be a supermarket, it could be a sports center they have been, it could be looking after their parents and look after puppies and dogs and cats. So whatever they do a whole day, and they are making a story out from it, presenting in digital way. Yeah, so we guide them how to do all these technologies, skills, editing, cutting, but at the same time, how they can make a story. Yeah, so that is the activity engagement. So that's just one point, and I like to point out, really very useful, because the structure of NCC curriculum allows us to do so. It gave us that, it's not a kind of matter of allowing us to do so. It gave us the inspiring ideas and they say, look, you could do this, you could do that. And all these activities being well put into the digital training content, so that we can just swing around the spaces and making our own activities to encourage children to learn. And this is for parenting and skills. But secondly, I like to mention out before I shut up. Okay, so the second point is it has kind of potentials, a kind of future development of their skills, or development of their skills for the future. And once they are digital generation, and they need to see not just the digital skills, but the usefulness of the digital skills. So this is what we bring them. Say, for another lesson from Digi curriculum is, it's not just teaching children about the internet, but telling technology. But the textbook actually designed from this aspect into 3 parts. Technology in business, technology at home, technology at office. So you would let children to know how technology being used in various different circumstances. And as really interesting parents and students. So we had just a session last 2 weeks ago to bring children to visit business offices, ask them to identify what the devices would be part of the digital technology, like coffee machines, typically. Yeah, there's a whole bunch of it. So there's really a lot of things you can do. So that is the second point, to bring the usefulness of digital technology at their early stage, so that they would get interested. And for some students, that we in our group, and they learned really fast. You know, the children's kind of potential to learn, if they are in the right environment, you can see the outcome straight away. Really amazing and very exciting to have such a kind of outcomes um, after the teaching. The third point I like to make is thanks for Shamila to organizing such a event, and I would really like to keep our communication flowing and also exchange the ideas through using this platform of how we deliver the courses for the benefit of children and the social community. And as I just said, I have been working with Tulip community and to develop the internationalization. It takes time. You can't just happen overnight. So we only started from last October. We very much like to share our experience and use our expertise to support. Some of the teachers could share us with the ideas they have, and also handcrafts they have made, some games, some video, etc., etc. So to support any part of the world once we organize, and I hope that when we get on the project going of the digital presentation of social communities, then we can all get participated, because different perspectives of different communities and different cultural background, that would be really interesting. Yeah, and the children would see each other, how they live their life in different ways. The parents will be able to see that as well. So that's all I see, sharing experiences as well as how that would benefit to children. Okay, yeah. Back to you now, Shamila.
Thank you, Dr. Yin. Thank you very much for this lovely presentation and sharing us your experiences. So both of you said so much about the Digi program, so I don't know what more do I need to add. But of course, we would like here the chapter, the Mauritius chapter as well, to be at the same level as you people are doing out there. And of course, we are going to have your support in anything that we are going to do. And just want to share with you that while you were talking, there was a journalist here in the room, and he asked to share some of the presentation that you did. So once it's going to be in the press, we are going to share it with you and the NCC Education in UK as well. So we are left, I think, with only 15 minutes, 10 to 15 minutes. If anyone in the room would like to ask any question to Dr. Yin, to Mrs. Lin, to Tamsin, the representative of NCC Education, or myself. And if we have the representative of Nepal still around with us, would like to share something. I think he's here. I can see him, but I'm not sure if he can talk. I think he's here.
Hello.
Yes.
Yes. Thank you, Samira, for this platform. I'm very excited, and yeah, I could get a few insight from other presenters as well. Like in Nepal, also we have been delivering this course very like nicely, I would say, but because of COVID, we were shut for 4 months, but still we worked for like from the home, and then we have been able to deliver these courses to the schools. So one of the biggest challenges is our course is based on classroom based study, and so the challenge that we faced is how are we going to convert this classroom based study into online course, right? So if some of the representative from NCC Education could answer this question for me, then I would be very pleased, or anyone can answer this question. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Dakar. Anyone would like to reply to Dakar? How he can have his classes online? I just want to share with you, Mr. Dakal, that here also we are facing very big challenges because we've been locked down until end of May, June. So when resuming, it's very tough for us, and especially to get the students to be online. And we are trying to get, so what we are going to do is that try to have the classes like we're doing right now on Zoom or any free platform, so that the kids and the parents can be on the online platform to share and to follow the classes. And we are trying to have face-to-face with small groups of kids to start with. And we are showcasing lots of videos. I think if you are following us on our Facebook page, so we've created a Digi Club here in Mauritius. We call it Digi Kids Club in Mauritius. So all our courses, all our marketing materials, all our small videos, our kids that are following the courses will be on this platform. So you can follow us on this and have, of course, ideas how you can do your classes online. And I think Dr. Yin also mentioned it's very important to get that the support of parents. The support as parents is very important so that they can follow and help. I think alone the kids cannot do it, but in this kind of situation, I think we can have the support of parents to help you and the kids as well to be online. Anyone want to add to what I've just said?
Shamila,
Yes.
I think the whole world is facing the same issue. Okay,
Yeah.
so to have it online, right? Okay, beside from Zoom, like what is happened last few months in Malaysia is all the school they use Google Classroom.
Yeah.
So what they will do is they will share the contents there, and they will have to have something like what we're having now, like you say, Zoom. Okay, then the teacher, the only thing is I have to admit, it can be very difficult to control the kids. If you have a very good, big group of kids, and you know, some kids is very active, some kids, so you might face a challenge, but I think eventually they will improve. Okay, because some kids, when they start using the computer, they are too excited. They just too excited. Yeah, but this is what everybody I think is facing. And recently we also have one center from India, and what they will do is they will do the Digi 100% online as well. So they were starting soon. We actually hope that this is a success case for us. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I think what you mentioned also, so that's why here in Mauritius, we are trying to have small groups. So we have batches of 5 students to start with, so that we can follow the student as well. So here in Mauritius, we are very lucky that we are back to work, but still we need to be careful about the protocols and sanitary precautions that we are taking. So what we're planning to have is only small groups of students that we're going to start. So we won't be starting in bigger classes. So let's say we have in demand as well to do bigger classes. We're still going to break them into different batches. So I think that would be the best way to work together with the kids, especially during this period, this time of period. So any other question from the audience? I can see Adila smiling. So Tamsin, anything you want to add? Just hold on, I need to unmute you.
I think Hailing actually covered quite a bit there, and you did too, Samira, with your ideas of how you would like to run the program online. And I think, again, it's going to be interesting to see with the new Digi Centre in India, what comes from that, and maybe actually have more of a collaboration and idea session brainstorm on what other opportunities could be looked at in that space. But yes, I think everything's been covered quite nicely. If anybody has any questions, please do let us know in the chat. If you want to ask us anything else, we are here. So I know there's only a few minutes left, so please let us know if you'd like to ask anything.
So I'm just typing a message to all of you here. So if you have any other question, just drop us an email. So you can just email me as well. So for those who doesn't have my email address, so here we go. And then you can just follow us on our Facebook page, which is the Digi Kids Club. Go. So I think, like I've mentioned earlier, it was a very short notice period to organize this meeting of today, but we've managed very well, I think. I would like to thank my staff who collaborate a lot with me. I think she's in the room as well. So Hansa is here, so she's supporting us a lot in getting students to enroll for the Digi programs. And I'm sure we will be very successful like others. So I think if we have that positive mindset here in Mauritius, I think we can succeed like others. So anytime I think I'll need your support. I know you're here, Dr. Yin. I know you're here, Mrs. Lim, and Tamsin, of course, is always here, also always here to support us. So I would just like to say very thank you for today. This session was recorded, of course, and it will be shared online for others to see who haven't been able to attend today. So if you don't have any questions, so thank you very much for today, and hope to hear from you all very soon. And just follow us on Facebook. You're going to show, we are starting actually the first batch the next Saturday on the 8th of August. So surely you will be getting videos from us.
Wonderful. Thank you, Samira.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Thank you for coming today. Bye-bye.
Okay.
Thank you,
Thank you
everyone.
so much,
Bye.
Samira.
Bye.
Thank you so much, everyone. Bye-bye.